Did you learn to internalize discomfort through your silence? So maybe being silent was a method for self-protection or self-preservation. Maybe it's a way to not be seen or not be heard, and for whatever reason that was a good thing. But your silence has led to other things, like you not being seen, like you not being heard, like you internalizing discomfort. You don't express it outwardly, so you feel it inwardly. When you get around certain people or you're in certain situations, it's like your body is saying what it wants you to say out loud. But we don't listen to the body sometimes. We just listen to our thoughts. And so our thoughts may be saying, this is not a good, safe environment to say how we really feel. Remember we said how we felt the last time, or we said the facts the last time. How did that go for us? And so those thoughts keep us from listening to our body. And so silence is self-protection, is self-abandonment, is stillness, right? So there's quiet, there is sometimes peace within silence. So if I'm not speaking my truth, that may create peace for the family. That may create peace for the environment in which I work within. But what is it costing you? So great, we can create peace for family or working environment. But who's creating that peace for you? Who taught you that silence was the way? Who did you see being silent? Who did you see not being seen or not being heard? And it looked acceptable, or maybe it was acceptable or required. And so oftentimes how we show up in the world is a direct reflection of either what we were taught or what we saw growing up. And it doesn't have to be within our own home or parents, right? Because I often hear some people say, well, I don't want to bash my parents. But is it true that you saw maybe your dad being silent when your mom was speaking up, when your mom was voicing her concerns? And so instead of dad addressing them, you saw him being silent. You saw him not saying anything in order to keep the peace. Is it a fact? So if that is a fact, we are not bashing dad. We are stating a fact, and what you saw mimic in your own home or maybe in people near you home. And so now it shows up in your life. Is that a fact? Because I saw dad react this way, I too now react this way. And I am noticing that although it may have worked for my parents, I'm realizing that it's not working for me and mine. Right? For me and my relationships, for me and my career aspiration. I'm recognizing that I have to do something differently. And if that is the case, those are facts. So did we ever say at one time or any time that dad was awful? Did we ever say that anything negative about dad? Let's just say that. No. We stated a fact. We saw how it now impacts your life as well, which is a fact. And now we are looking at ways to address that fact so that it aligns more with who you are today and what you need today. Maybe keeping silent was needed up until now. Maybe that self-preservation or that self-protection was needed, was required for you to get where you are today. But you're realizing now it's no longer a benefit. It's a hindrance. It's like learning how to ride a bike. We start out, most of us, with training wheels. But as you learn how to ride it, those training wheels come off. What if you're 6 or 10 years old, and you're still riding around with training wheels with some of your friends? I know we don't do that nowadays. It's rare to see a whole lot of kids riding bikes. However, let's just go back to when that was happening often. And so what if you're riding around with your friends and they're all out of their training wheels because they're 10, 11, 12, 13, have been riding bikes for quite some time. And here you are pulling up to the crew with your bike and your training wheels. Do you think you're going to make it to the park at the same time they do? No. But it's easy for us to identify that, oh, we learned something new, we got better, okay, then something has to go, aka the training wheel. But when it comes to our life, it's like, nope, we got to do this and stay this way no matter what. This is what got us here. We got to keep it. It's like being hired as a CEO, but you're still functioning as a associate or an assistant, like you just started. That's not going to pan out well for you. They didn't hire you as an assistant. Maybe you started out as an assistant and worked your way up to a CEO level, but they're looking for a CEO. They're no longer looking for an assistant. So if you continue to function in those old ways, it's not going to go well for you. The same applies to our lives. If you realize that you are in a healthy relationship and the communication style needs to change, needs to look different from what you used to do or what you're used to seeing, that's something to take note of. That's something to say, how can I give myself permission to learn the tools needed to communicate in this healthy relationship? If you realize that yelling and walking out every time an argument happens no longer applies to this a relationship, do we keep doing it because it's worked before? Or do we change? Do we give ourselves permission to change? Although what you're doing is the first time you've seen it done, that means you can change it. You can change the way it's being done. So maybe staying silent no longer works for you. Are you going to give yourself permission to be bold and out loud? Are you going to give yourself permission to even be called too much? One of the things I hear my clients say is, I get excited by saying no now. Like, I just want people to ask, just so I can say no, because I can probably do what they're asking me. But I also know I can say no and it be okay. I will be okay because they've given themselves permission to set that boundary, to be disliked, God forbid. But they've allowed themselves to be disliked and they're happy about it. They're excited about it. Get excited about choosing you. Get excited about allowing that person internally to come out externally. She's amazing. She's a powerhouse. She is how you got where you are today. Fully give her access to you, your body, your life. Allow her to lead. Give her permission. Silence is not golden, not for us. We've been silenced for way too long. Now is the time to stand up. Now is the time to speak up. Now is the time to be seen. Now is the time to be heard. There is no greater time than now. So I want you to think about this week and all the ways in which you are not speaking out, whatever that may look like. That can be somebody bump into you, or somebody says something that your whole body kind of like froze when they said it. It felt uncomfortable. Something like, oh, I didn't like when you said that about ABC. Or, please don't say that again. I don't like that. You see how I'm smiling? It's non-confrontational. You can do that too for you. Set that boundary. Be heard. Silence is not given. Show up for you. Everybody else showing up for them. Show up for you. You matter. You are amazing. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. Look at all you've done up until this point. Tell me you're not unstoppable. Tell me that anything you put your mind to, you don't get it done. You don't accomplish. We're done being silent. Continue to be unstoppable and allow her to come out and play. That part of you that wants to speak up. That part of you that is tired of being silent. That part of you that is ready to be seen. Be seen. You're worth it. You deserve it. If not now, when? Allow yourself to become her. Not someone new. Just giving yourself permission to be who you already are. No matter what, no matter who.